Hello, my name is Sarah Alfonso, and this piece is entitled If I Must Burn. Part 1, Hymn. We were driving down the interstate after visiting my sister on the northern coast. It was dark, and the moon, like a playful child, hid herself under black blankets. There we hid also from my family and their watching, and though I felt for the first time unafraid of their stares, I still could not shake the fear of letting him get too close. So I turned my eyes into malfunctioning traffic lights, giving mixed signals of stop and go. Yet he was the one disappointed in himself, a gentle Taurus, a bull unable to take charge. He asked once, "Can you really put your faith in the positioning of stars?" But I would still put my trust in even the constellations of freckles on his arms if it gave any indication of the way his mind worked. His name meant Mars, the Roman god of war, and meeting my hand with his lips, he called me his Venus. I always wished I could have believed in his compliments. But my Libran heart is shallow and untrusting. Still, our fingers were drawbridges opening, entwined and perfectly vulnerable in pink from previous scarring. He danced with me under street lamps and strummed my heartstrings like he would a Spanish guitar. So I let my fears escape in the wind through an open car window, and I enjoyed making hand waves in the night air, hair licking at the sky, and I kissed him as I imagine only Venus could. Part 2, Her. She was a craving. Like my need to have a cigarette between my lips, so was I starved for her kiss. She was the same, equally as destructive. A surgeon general could have written warnings on every crevice of her skin, and still I would not listen. Unless by chance this same surgeon could rewire my brain, could somehow make it say again from the deepest lobe, "I only like men." She coaxed me, knowing that I had long denied that part of myself that longed for her. But with the blinking of her lashes, she mocked the ashes that burned my fingers at the touch of her. A second-degree burn for the second time I reached for her hand today. We drove downtown, hunting for walls covered in art, for back alleys with stories, and I was amazed by the way that she would drape her leg over the steering wheel. It was evidence of her dancer past, evidence that seat belts could never fully keep her safe. She laughed when the car swerved and said, "I hope that I don't kill us both, but if I do, I'd hope this moment was worth dying for." The night before, I had dreamed that she was a droplet of water, being absorbed into my pores, knowing every plane and edge of my imperfect face. And I dreamed that she would never feel hurt because of me, because of this cynical, abusive me who she placed so highly, but who treated her lower than the burnt-out cigarette butts I trampled with my sneakers. Part 3, Myself. I placed my head on the cool window, the passing headlights reflecting my image on the glass. I sat still like I was being painted, lips drawn thin like an accidental streak of red. My father's yelling filled every inch of space, so I tried to mold myself to the car door instead. It was hard to believe this man was my father. It was even harder to genetically prove it. I tried to find traces of myself where the lights illuminated the features on his face, but in this way, too, we were nothing alike. So what you're saying is you believe that God supports their sin? Do you think that he would support a union of such sexual immorality? I had opposed both God and this man, born the same day as Hitler. And while I tried to untwist his words like a hangsman's noose only I could untie, I was still poultry on the conveyor belt, prepared for decapitation. So I tried to better compose my thoughts and steady the shaking of my palms, wondering if it would be easier just to open the handle and roll out. Has that school made you into a pagan? If homosexuals don't turn away from their sin, they cannot inherit the kingdom of God. But I drew my thoughts back to her laughter, to the time we parked and sat in the back seat of her car, listening to a mix CD. We found a leaf shaped like a heart, photographed it, and said that we can save it this way so that we never have to see it grow brown. I constructed stanzas for her, rendering her to be forever eternal in my words. My father spoke in statistics, while I spoke in lover's linguistics like he could understand it in the first place. So I allowed him to call me a sodomite, letting my ears fall on the word a father would call his unconfessed bisexual daughter.